Looks like we are live. How's everybody doing today? Hope everyone is having a great week. We made it to yet another Wednesday, and that always makes me happy. So let me know if the sound and picture quality is okay today. It looks good from this end. So let's see who we have today. We have Jesus, how's it going? Great to see you all the way from Georgia. And we have John Diekman from Wisconsin. And we have Color Graphics, which is Roy from Jersey. And we have Patty from Illinois. And we have John from upstate New York. Brad from Manitoba. And Paul. Paul is from Indiana, if I'm not mistaken. And so we have a very healthy group. Rick, how you doing? Rick is from Canada. I believe it was near Montreal, if I'm not mistaken. And then, so that's great. So we have a great group today. That's fantastic. It's great to see everybody. And so here we are, part 10. It's going to be the final part of this particular portrait. And it's been a lot of fun. The beautiful Malia Creeling, I think that's how you say her name. I do apologize. She's Greek, so it's a little different. And so, I thank you guys for being here, and I really appreciate it. I hope everyone liked the Saturday night pastel class that we're doing every Saturday at 8 o'clock. So that's really exciting. So I'm so glad to be able to do that Saturday at 8 for 1 hour, which is pastels. This will continue being the airbrush live stream, of course. Willie, how are you, Willie? Good to see you. All the way from Massachusetts. And so Patty says, Colette, funny you asked. I'm not seeing Colette. It says, funny you asked, Miss chatting last week. Not sure how long I'll last. Will do my best. Had dental surgery. Oh no, Patty. I'm so sorry to hear that. I don't see Colette here. Okay. Maybe Colette was there earlier because I don't see her currently. So, very cool group. Okay, let's start at the beginning. Well, the beginning of tonight's live stream, that is. So since I'm here, I'm just going to work on the fabric a little bit more, not to get obsessed with it, but just a little bit. And let's make sure we make that happen. Okay, so right over here. Once again, I have the detail mixture in my airbrush, the Xtreme Patriot Arrow customized by myself. And so definitely when you're starting working on a painting that you haven't worked on in, a day or a week especially, you want to make sure that you start your day with the detail mixture. Too dark, too early, too bad, okay? And so that's what we want to do. And I'm going to keep an eye on the comments. If I miss a comment, just realize that it's me concentrating on the painting. Just re-ask it or get my attention, okay? So what I want to do is I want to get some of the contrast here, up here. And then we have some nice lights over here. So if I see a light at this point, I'm just going to get my pastel. And the white pastel, those who've been following me, is I add white pastel to my paintings as soon as I find the white pastel. That's always it's always a challenge. So remember, if you can't find it, it's underneath something, right? So I think that's what it is. And let's see, so it's small, it's white, and I should be able to find it. I did find it. It was behind something, so that's interesting. And so I'm just going to So what I do is I just put a little bit on a piece of medium grit, like 80 grit sandpaper, get the pastel off, put it on here, and then apply it like a paintbrush, like so. And that is great because we're working on paper. We don't need any kind of white paint that causes issues. And so we're able to use this and not get any kind of blue shift. So there is a great advantage to this. Plus with pastel you can erase it easier than if you were erasing pencil. So that's like a double plus if you ask me, you know. Yes, Patty, I hope you feel much better. And we'll just come over here. So where I see white, I'm just going to go ahead and put that in, get some nice contrast here. Nothing crazy, but just to make sure that we give the impression that she is laying against a pillow, I believe, with all the folds. Sometimes it's good to do a shorthand, but when you do a shorthand, it only works when you have very keen observation, meaning you're doing the 1 second rule and paying attention. So Mr. Total Pain, it's great to see you, John, all the way from upstate New York. If I didn't mention you, I apologize. How's everything doing? How's everything going? I see you did a really great t-shirt for your grandson. That was so cool. Came out really nice. Really loved it. So if anyone wants any kind of t-shirt designs, John's really good at that. Hit him up. He does great work. So Raul, how's everything going? Raul from New Jersey and John Payne all the way from upstate New York. So we have a good healthy group here. Seems like mostly East Coast guys today. Got East Coast vibe going. Thanks, Patty. The group is not the same without you. I want you to know that. Definitely want you to know that. There's these little ridges over here, like a crease or whatnot. And let's just go ahead and see. Part 10 is when you basically you finish up all the loose ends, right? That's basically what we want to do. Finish up all the loose ends. And then I'll sign it and she is ready to find a home. She will be for sale if somebody was interested in collecting this piece. It's really very powerful painting, you know. I like paintings with emotion, so that's so important. Now someone says, "Oh, Wendy, how you doing? Great to see you all the way from Texas, just outside of Dallas." And Jesus says, "East Coasters rule." That's cool. Thank you, sir. Now on this side we don't have as much going on with the fabric. Let's see if I just move Malia a little further off. Let's see what we can do on this side. If anything we need to do. Let's get some more white pastel. Thanks, Wendy, for saying hello to everyone. I'm so glad you're here. So is everybody else. So I wanted to welcome a new student today. We have Patrick. So that is really fantastic. So welcome, Patrick, to the mentorship program. So it's nice. The mentorship program is growing with very talented students, and I'm very excited about that. Oh, thanks. I'm not even sure if it's a pillowcase. Maybe it's a pillowcase end sheet, right? The picture is kind of nondescript. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, it was always a challenge. I wasn't sure I was going to actually go for it and do the white sheet because and the pillow because it was very difficult. But I said, why not, right? Thanks, John. I appreciate that. Now here's a good time to start getting rid of some pencil lines. No time like week 10, the last 2 hours of a painting, to get rid of pencil lines. Remember what pencil lines, those who are in my classes know what I call pencil lines. Ah, thank you, Jesus. I appreciate that. Wendy says she's working on a painting. Got to get rid of what I think something looks like. Yes, it's so important to paint what we see and not what we think we see, right? So that's not easy. We all struggle with that, including me. So it's not easy. Definitely is not easy. And you can see just getting a balance is really important. Then I'm going to come in with some of the medium mixture, some of the darker mixture, and we're going to kill some of these edges that kind of blend in with each other. Hey, Blue, good to see you. How are you? And I'm so glad you're here. So we have a nice, healthy group today, which is great. Hey Colette, how's it going? Good to see you. So we have Blue from Long Island and we have Colette from Wisconsin. Very cool. Very cool. Okay, so let's do some airbrushing. All right, now let's go ahead and see where we can darken. And I'm going to try and kind of darken this up just a tad. Now I'm going to be approximately 6 inches away. From 6 inches, it's a very even gradated value from 6 inches. And so you can see I could calm down some of these values here and kind of soften this edge. Midwest rules, Patty said. That's cool. Yes, go to Midwest, right? I hear that. Got some great Midwesterners here today. So glad you're here. You guys have the Bears, you have Notre Dame, you have the St. Louis Cardinals. Oh my goodness, so much. The Bulls. So right here, it looks like this comes out right about here. So I'm not sure if it's a shadow or what have you right there. This was mainly a freehand illustration, you know, freehand painting, I would say. Now, when I was looking at this painting during the week, oh, the Blackhawks, yes. Hockey fans, huh? That's cool. So, I'm going to be looking at her lips here, and upon observation, I can see that this needs to be softened. And we'll just soften this up a little bit. White Sox, Cubs, Chicago Fire. Wow. Yeah, Chicago has great sports teams. So do us New Yorkers, right? So that's cool. Chicago has a lot of great sports history. And this is very soft, so I'm just going to soften up this edge here on this lip here. Bring this over. There we go. So I'm going to get another airbrush, and this airbrush is going to be the Xtreme Patriot 105. And what we're going to do is we are going to put in the medium mixture. So this is a big step. And actually, I'm going to go one further. I think I'm going to put a little bit of the dark mixture in as soon as I find it. And always you want to test out your airbrush before you bring it anywhere near your painting, okay? So, now for some dark accents here and there. These are the darkest darks of the painting. They're reserved for this very moment. And let's go ahead and start to do this. Now if we lose a catch light in the eye, we can always come back. So, no biggie. Go. We pull out that dark. Let's take a look. See what's happening here. We're getting a weird glare, but that is black. We're just getting a strange glare from the light there. That is interesting how it's getting that effect, so we'll look at that and see what's happening there. I think it was from the white pastel, but when we go over that with the white pastel, we should not have any problems. Very interesting though, interesting effect. Oh, thanks, Jesus. I appreciate that very much. Thank you. A little bit of a weird thing is occurring here when I put in the dark mixture of the eye. So I'm not sure what exactly happened there. That's a first. But it's nothing we worry about we think about it and then we come back to it. So remember that. You never get emotional about anything weird going on. Is it happening with this eye? I don't think so. Let's see if I go over it. If it has anything to do with the dark mixture, I'm going to go over it with the detail mixture. Okay. And come back. We'll come back to the dark mixture. So we're looking for the dark accents at this point, guys. So let's see, right here we have a little bit of the dark mixture. Put that over here. And then I am a little bit hard edged here, so my job is to soften up the edges, get rid of edges that I wanted to see, you know, on a subconscious level, but really aren't there. So that's our job, is to paint what we see and not what we want to see or our subconscious wants to see. So I'm just going to soften that edge up a little bit. Darken up this area right here. There we go. When working with the dark mixture, be careful because it's more like playing for keeps. It's almost like ink straight out of the bottle. So very volatile. Respect it, right? We have to respect it. Thanks, Blue. I appreciate that. And Jesus, thank you so much. And again, we'll just continue. Now, the hair, I think, is a little busy for me. At least my painting is. So let's calm this down. Right over here. Put a few hard edges here and there. Remember, when you're using a freehand shield, you use it to cover what you don't want to spray. So remember that. Always, that's an always. When using a freehand shield, cover what you don't want to spray. And that will definitely keep you from making mistakes. Super dark now, right? We're coming in with those really rich darks with the dark mixture here. Go. Ah, I can't wait. I can't wait till you get your airbrush. And hopefully within the next few days you'll be getting it, sir. So Jesus is the proud owner of the Xtreme Patriot arrow. So thank you so much, the customized version. And, you know, and I'm really hoping that he enjoys it. And I know he will, because it's tested by me for at least 6 hours. Sometimes it used to be 3. Now I usually test it for about 6 hours. So I'm hoping it arrives by Friday. Oh, thank you, Patty, and thank you, John. And yeah, I think you may be selling the other airbrushes. That's what I did. I sold off my Iwatas. True story. Well, the good thing about Iwata is that their resale value is really good. Those airbrushes sold like really quickly. So that's one great thing about Iwata, is that they hold their value. Thanks, John. John said to smash the like button. I appreciate that. So if you're watching this and you haven't subscribed, go ahead, because now I'm doing on Saturday nights at 8 Eastern Time, a lot earlier. So those of you who are in the UK, you'll be able to go ahead and catch the pastel class that I'll be giving, the pastel live stream every Saturday at 8. So that's exciting. It's nice now because as I come in with the dark accents, the lights are getting much more powerful. So it's nice how they kind of work with each other. Okay, so now we can come in with the dark mixture and come in here where the hand is, enrichen this up. Nice hard edge right here. Let's go ahead and make this happen. Remember, always cover what you don't want to paint, right? It's so important. Cover what you don't want to paint and spray where you want to paint. And so now I'm just going to work on this thumb here, this freehand shield, perpendicular and not parallel, okay? So what I'm looking here is just a little bit of white pastel. Oh, thank you, Blue. I appreciate that. And Blue says it was a great live feed on Saturday. Thank you. Brad says he gets unbelievable detail with the Xtreme Patriot arrow customized by me. I appreciate that. He says it gives a great edge, so that's exciting. So thank you so much. And Jesus says he couldn't find the 60 pack of pastel nowhere. Jesus. Oh, okay. So Dick Blick, have you tried that for the, they have it there. This, I believe it's the 60 piece. And I did find it. Let me see if I can get a link for you guys, okay? It's on blickart.com, I believe, something like that. Let's take a look. I'm going to do a quick search while I'm here for you guys. Okay, here we are. And we're going to look for Pit Pastel 60 count. Now, if they don't have it, they definitely... Oh, look, there we go. So we do have it. So let me see if I can just show you guys. This, I'm going to do something. It might, this is, we're just going to see if I could get the, if I can add a web page. Let's see. So add, let's see, share display. Okay. Let's go browser. And I'm going to put this in here and then you guys will all see. So why not? Something different, right guys? Add. Okay, so let's see what we have here. Okay, so now you all can see this screen here. Okay, so here you go. That's cool, right behind. So on blick.com, they do have them. Let's scroll down here. They have the 12 for 20, the tin of 12 for 20. We don't want that. The set of 24. And of course, these are the pastel. And then this is the one you want, the 60. It's actually a very good price, $82.80. So you can add that to cart. And let me see, product can, okay, so yeah, so definitely we do have it. So that's cool. So that is exciting. So I hope that helps. So now I have to get out of that screen. So there we go. Hey, learned how to do something different today, huh? That was cool. Okay, so I hope that helps. And let me get a sip of water. Wendy said she found them, got her stuff at Merry Artists. Free shipping, no tax over $95. So they are very similar in price, but definitely if you have a code, that's fantastic. So, you know, Wendy has a good place as well. Okay, very cool. Okay, so let's continue with some of this dark accent going on here. And come over here. Okay. Very cool. All right, very cool. So definitely you want the 60-piece set. The other piece, you just won't, it won't be effective. So you definitely need the 60-piece set, Jesus, and then you can definitely start following along with some projects coming up, because I'll be talking about what number they are. So all of the Pit Pastels actually come with a number. So I could say like, okay, we're using number 230, and you can just go ahead and pick it up. So it's and find it. So very good teaching tool. Let's see. Thanks for that, Wendy. I appreciate it. Okay, so let's use the Fons and Porter here. And let's do this highlight right there. And very light. Now remember, light pressure means light application. So if I was going to zoom in and just show you what I'm working on with the lips here. Okay. This comes up here, just like so, very lightly. Keep all your shapes organic, right? Meaning not looking like it's man-made, not evenly spaced, not equidistant, organic. Controlled chaos, that's organic shapes. Super light pressure, and you're going to have a super light application. So I'm just going to, you see how I just sort of kiss that surface, and I get the application I need, which is great. Okay, so it looks like Blick is less expensive, Wendy says, so that's cool. There's my cat. Hi, what do you want? She wants tuna. She likes eating tuna, and she only likes a little bit of it, and every night she has to get it around this time. So now she's like, hey, Where's the tuna? And let's come over here and bring this over. And right here is just a little bit lighter right here. Okay. Yeah, Blue, you heard her? She's cute, the little kitty. Now with her forehead, you see all these lights is because whatever's facing the light gets the white. So whatever's facing the light most is going to be getting most of the white. So when you see it facing the light, you have to put that in there. And then if it faces more directly or is closer to the light source, then she is a sweet little cat. And whatever's closer to that light source is going to get more of the intensity from that light source. So you see how it's much more intense right over here, much more intense over here because it's facing almost parallel to the light and facing that light. Put that catch light back in there. There we go. Take care, Jesus. Have a great night. I know you got to get up early for work tomorrow. So take care, my friend. Oh, that's great. So that's a good price. And I'm going to calm that down. So I'm going to use very light application here and then just calm down the dark value here. Still there, but what I can do is kind of pull that out with a kneaded eraser. That's a great thing about working with the white pastel. And just want to make sure I don't put too much white pastel, and also don't make the dark in between too dark, right? So we have to sort of walk that tightrope here. But just stay with it, be tenacious, courageous, all that stuff, and we will, as you see, we will eventually get her expression. So now is when the rubber meets the road. This is where all the hard work comes together. Hey Omas, how you doing? Great to see you. Then right here, just a little slightly darker, and you can just tap that away, which is great. And make sure that your shapes are organic, right? So we don't want it to be like a straight line or geometric. We have to make sure that we combat that. Otherwise it just won't look right. And of course, we're just going to lightly go over that just to get some of the shapes that are inside the shapes. So it's interesting. So you have to do the shapes, and then you have to do the shapes inside the shapes, and not only that, the edges. So there's a lot of information that's going on, especially in something as intricate as her forehead. Hey, what's up there, Mr. Leahy? How are you, sir? Glad to see you back in the studio yesterday. And just come back over here. And pull this over. Now it is slightly dark over here, so we want to make sure that we show it, but don't make it too powerful where it starts looking like, not like part of her forehead, but more like just some really weird shape or stain on there. We have to make sure that it appears to be like part of the tapestry of her anatomy. So you got to keep with that 1 second rule. If you paint for a second, you look for a second, and that keeps your head in the game. And notice I can put the pastel right into the ink, and there's no blue shift here. Slightly comes up here like this. All these little things. Really important to do that. Hey, Anuvi, great to see you. How are you? I'm so glad you're here. And Anuvi, where are you from? Now, I think I missed the angle on that a little bit, so I'll just pull that over. And let's take a look while we're here and see we have the proper shape for the final approach of those eyebrows, right? So important. And some of the negative shapes in here. The white of the eye. We'll make that a little more watery. There we go. There's just a little bit of an inclination, just an indication of the white of the eye, just like that. And then on this side, we can give it a little more luminosity, just like so. There we go. And while I'm here, just work on the hair. Let's bring some of the powerful light on the nose here. And this light actually comes all the way up and meanders into that. So it's not separate. So you want to start seeing the pathways and the connections, right? See the cat in the background right now? Hey, how you doing? Oh boy. I don't want her to fall on anything to get hurt. Studio's not a safe place. Too many sharp things. She is a good cat. Thanks, guys. She's a very cute cat. Okay, so back with this dark mixture. Let's make sure we come in and just start to create some nice contrast, since this is the last day of the painting. Now we're playing for keeps. Go. Okay, so right in here, there's a little bit of a light. So you know you have the shapes, and then you have the lighter shapes inside. So you want to go ahead and sort of put that in. So even though it's a shadow area, you really want to create that sense of light bouncing all around and getting into those areas that are quote unquote shadows. So your assessment of the light and dark, you wanted to have it. Oh, thank you so much, John. I appreciate it. The assessment of the lights and darks, you want it to be a little bit more sophisticated. So meaning that you want to see not only the lights and darks, but also the darks and the lights and the lights and the darks. And really start separating your thought of things being in realms of light and shadow. I think that's throughout history, I think that is wrong. And, you know, that I'll talk about, how the whole idea of light and shadow is really not correct. Even the way I learned light and shadow, it's not correct. So lately, with my own experiments and dealing with physics and trigonometry and stuff like that, I'm learning that light is not the way it's been taught to us. It's a lot deeper. And once you start discovering that deeper, you can't unknow it, right? And it becomes something that just changes the way you see everything. And it's really wild. So that's something I'm teaching my students now in the mentorship program. That's the kind of stuff that you'll learn, is the fact that light is not the way that it's being portrayed. It goes much deeper than that, and there are a lot of principles of physics that are involved, and once you know them, you're able to look for things a lot easier, find it, and then in turn paint it a lot easier. Okay, so we do see some light over here, and we're just going to paint that in here on her chest area. So I don't think we're going to make it all the way to 11:30 today because, I'm going to pretty much do everything that I want to do in this painting, but we'll see. We might make it to 11:30. Let's see. But those who are thinking about doing the Saturday pastel, because it's really great because I will be teaching exactly how to do the underpainting using the India inks, and that will help you. So if you are an airbrush artist, it'll be a perfect transition for you. And the fact is, you don't have to use Createx all the time. There are a lot of great alternatives. And pastel, if you're working on wood panel, if you're doing like an illustration type of thing, then you know what? Pastels will be a really great solution for you. So definitely, the Saturday night live streams are really going to be great. And just like a lot of great information will be there. And so I'm excited to share it with everybody. Let's see if I can darken this just a little bit. Oh, and I think maybe the shape's a little off here. Let's see. Make it a little fatter. Just some information here. Nothing too crazy. Now there is she is wearing like a kind of a white sleeve, so let's go ahead and make that happen. Yes, definitely, Willie. We're going to keep that at 8 o'clock. Is that good for you, Willie, or is it too early? What do you guys think? Is 8 o'clock okay? Yeah, last week was a little bit late to 8:30, so 8 o'clock is probably the best. But, if a lot of people tell me it's too early, maybe I can make an adjustment. Great, now I'll come back in with the detail mixture. Pull this down a little bit. Ah, sounds great, Willie. Definitely. And I'll be going over a lot of things about my own technique for creating my own surfaces, to working with surfaces that you can buy, that you can initially do an India ink underpainting, and then after doing the India ink underpainting, you can go ahead and go over it in pastels and how to do that. Oh, great, Brad and Roy. So that sounds great. Yeah, nice and early, right? I think it's good. 9:30, I know, is a little rough sometimes, but I've been doing 9:30 since 2016, so I'm just like, okay, we'll just keep it going. But definitely Saturday's a new gig, new thing, and we'll even get some of the pastel people in there. so it should be good. It was very popular. I think if I look at my, let me see how many hits it has already. Let's see here. So on that one, actually got a lot more than have in a while. So that one actually has 219 views, and last week's live stream has 123. So definitely a bit more excitement with that one, which is nice, you know. Sometimes you have to change it up a bit and do some new things, you know. So it's not a bad thing. Okay. And I'm going to come in with the paintbrush in just a little bit. I don't think I've done that yet in this painting, did I? Did I come in with the paintbrush yet? Okay, right here. Maybe just a little bit of transparency right here. Just a tad bit by her eye here. And soften this up just a little bit. See how there's all these little, so you have this dark, but inside that dark shape are some lighter areas. Now why is it light? Because light is bouncing, right, from the original light source, and it's bouncing all around. And that's why you get these lights in the shadow areas, because light bounces in straight lines. The angle that it hits something is the exact opposite angle that it bounces off. So that light, although it may be less intense, is actually still the same light source, just bouncing off and with lesser strength. Hey Willie, have a great night, my friend. Always a pleasure to see you. See you Saturday. Don't work too hard, sir. So next week is exciting. So next Wednesday, we're going to be starting a new painting in this live stream here. So make sure you're here. That's always exciting. The first live stream, part one always does great, doesn't it? You know? And so looking forward to seeing everyone part one. Still not sure what I'll be doing. I'm doing my own photography, so I may be using a painting, a photograph from somebody who posed for me in the photo studio. So that might be exciting, so we'll see. And let's come in with our dark mixture. right here you can see how I created more of a contrast here, and her nose right here is definitely not as contrasted. The values are much closer to one another, so now I'm just going to go ahead and do that. That's the whole thing, you know. It's always, we want to paint what we see, not what we think we see, but our subconscious always gets in the way. But our job is to try and suppress that. You can let some of your subconscious in, that's cool, but you don't want to be ruled by it. Okay, so you see how this comes out here, and then we have that dark there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a little bit of the medium mixture, and I'm going to do a little little brush technique here. Nothing too fancy. I like doing like a dry brush, so you can see I get rid of the excess moisture, and then I have much more control. And you can see the more moisture you have, the less control you have with this brush. So you want to make sure that you get rid of a lot of the moisture. And it's called the dry brush technique. I learned that when I was a kid. Just look for some really nice hard edges at this point, right? And that's what I'm going to do now. I'm looking for some really nice little hard edges here, just to create a bit of interest, right? That's what we want to do. Right here. And let's look over on this side. Everything here is pretty much soft edged. Maybe just a little bit right over here. Hey, kitty. Hey. What are you doing? Look at that. She's acting really overly friendly. Gotta get down. Go ahead. Go, go. She usually hangs out until the live stream's over, but not today. I think she really wants that tuna. Oh, here we found a nice hard edge there, which is cool. This is all super soft edge, but maybe I can come in with a little bit of a hard line there, just to create some interest. right over here. Maybe I can indicate her neck a little bit, or where the hair starts. Oh, since we're here, let's do some of these like errant hairs here. That might be cool. Get some of these magnets out of the way. Whoa. See how I'm able to do those hairs? You have to be fast, right? You have to be quick. The speed is going to give you that sort of accuracy of the free-flowing qualities of the hair as they come out like that. And we'll do a couple here. Again, make sure nothing is equidistant or parallel, right? You don't want that. I think the cat is now about, Wendy, I think probably maybe 5 years. And Blue says Kitty wants to learn to airbrush. Yeah, if it had to do with tuna, airbrushing tuna, that's all she cares about. She's funny. Funny kitty. And since we have some pretty cool hairs on that side, let's do that on this side as well. That's true. They do get clingy when you give them something that they love, which is tuna, definitely. And so true, Wendy. Okay, so here we have an opportunity to do some little hairs where her scalp is. I'll zoom in to show you. Oh, that would be great if I can have that cat cook. Yes. I'm telling you. True, Roy. I do all the cooking around here. Because it's just me. So when you're doing those hairs, you want to try and make sure that they are not equal in size, and make sure they're not all parallel like spaghetti. You don't want that. And let's take a look. Let's see. All right. Really enjoying this. And let me just go and quickly run this under the faucet. It'll just be a moment. And let me get these pastel pencils away from the cat so she doesn't fall on them. Okay, be right back. Tuna. I'm gonna go give her the tuna. It'll just be a moment. Here you go, kitten. I know. There you go. See? There you go. I'm back. So you want to make sure that you go ahead and clean these first. You know, don't let them sit, because when you do, they're just not going to work the best for you. So you want to make sure that you take good care of them. And let's see. So I'm going to come with my eraser, and this one is kind of a non-aggressive eraser, and we'll just pull this up here like that. So it's going down to 30 degrees, no, about 37 degrees here tonight, which is chilly for late April. Very interesting. And just sculpt this a little bit. I think everyone does need cake. I haven't had cake in a while. I do have cake in cake mix, but I've refrained thus far. But I don't know how long that's going to hold out. Oh, 80s there, Wendy. That is very, very hot, huh? Oh my goodness. That's unbelievable. Wow, I can't believe that. That's really hot. And so we're getting to the home stretch of this painting, but we're going to continue and until we get to the point where I can say no mas, like Roberto Duran. Let me just get a sip of water here. Wow, over 100. That's unbelievable. That's crazy how much. Wow, that's something. I can't believe that. That is really, and in March? Oh man, that's unbelievable. That's something. Okay. And just doing some finishing touches, making sure we get the shapes and everything. And also, you know, at this point you always want to look for the lights inside the darks. And that's what we're going to do. And that gives much more depth to your work when you have the lights and the darks. like I said, that's caused by light bouncing around, you know. Hey, Jesus, you're back. Good to see you, sir. This is a little bit larger over there. Making these little micro adjustments now. That's what it's really about at this point. Okay, so before we're actually going to look for spots that we can do like our super highlights, our lightest lights, and I'm going to use a little piece of sennelier here. Just where the areas are most light facing. Just tapping that on there. Ah, thanks, Jesus. I appreciate that so much. So right now we're doing our accents upon accents here. Our white accents with this sennelier. Now you'll know as we go into pastels more in on Friday nights, you'll know that, you know, a lot of different brands, there are a lot of different brands of pastels out there, and they all have their use, you know, and some are good for the beginning, some are good for the end, and some are good for the middle of your painting. And to know which brands they are is so important. And I'll be teaching everybody that, so you'll know when to use, like let's say Credit Color, a new pastel, and know when to use Rembrandt pastels or Holbein pastels. They all have their use, right? So it's important to know that, and I'll be sharing that with everybody, which is great. Hey, what's up there, Nameless? How's it going? Good to see you. Jesus, Jesus's kids. They're great kids. Very cool family. Very rich man. Those who have things like family and, you know, I rejoice that that people have that. Oh, that's so cool. So right here on this slip here, so I have an irregular piece of broken pastel. So I have to just hit that correctly. And since I'm here, let's put some highlights here on this fabric. Why don't we, right? Let's do that. Move this over. Just add some interest. Just like that. See how we can accent this fabric here. And then watch it come alive. 1 second rule though. You don't, even though you're doing like, still want to pay attention to that 1 second rule. It's going to keep you from doing weird things, you know, and not painting what you're seeing, not painting what you want to see. Now I can come in here and I could lightly assimilate this. And then we can bring that over here. Let's see, where else? Maybe on this side a little bit. Just did a little accent here. Let's do a couple of accents on this side. Right here on the inner edge. Right here. And then we can come in with this. Mr. Leahy says the 1 second rule can't keep him from doing weird things. That's funny. And let's see. And Nameless says, hey Deuce, what do you do? Oh, okay, cool. And this is just to give a little bit of life to the fabric up here, that's all. Nothing crazy, but maybe right over here. And I'll just come over here. Right over here. And let's come over here. And as you can see, we're getting to the very end of this painting, so we're just going to come in and maybe just try and get a little more dimension on this pillow. And we'll just create a little edge here. Okay, so everything's looking pretty good. The fabric is fine. This side's looking light only because the light source is right here. Otherwise, we wouldn't have that issue at all. Let me just bring this down. Let's see if I can come in with this again. And I don't think I have a point here. Let's see. Sometimes I don't have a point. This is true. See that really nice specular highlight, as photography people say. Go. Cool. All right. So now we are just going to pretty much finish this painting in just a few moments. Let's see here. I'll come in with aggressive eraser and we'll just come in with a few more hairs here. Not much longer to go. A little bit of light here, and I will go over that with a little bit. Now this might come down a little further, and I think that, you know, looking at this, even at this stage, there are certain things when you're at this late stage you can live with, and you know, you just have to say, I'll get them next time. But there are times when you are looking at a painting, even in this late stage, and you can say, you know what, I could fix this, and it's important to do so. So if you can fix it, and it's not like completely reconstruction surgery or something like that, then I'd say go ahead and do it. So right here, this comes down just a little bit more. And I think that was something that I felt was missing. So I'm just going to come over here. There we go. So I think that's a good thing. Let's see how this goes. And I think that helps with the likeness. Like I said, we are not painting the likeness, we're painting the light, but at the last stage like this, we are looking for the likeness, of course. So I do like that. I think that made a big difference in getting more of her character. Blue, have a great night. Always a pleasure to talk to you. And don't work too hard. So tonight, Malia will be complete, and I will sign it. So that is cool. And let's see if we can erase some more lights in the hair. Let's see. Now there are some areas in the hair where it's just a little bit lighter. Remember, I always talk about painting the helmet first, but now's the time when we start painting individual hairs, right? So there's a time and a place for everything, and the detail doesn't happen in the hair until the very end. Okay, so here's something interesting. It's called Blackbeard wheat, and I'll just show you very quickly. There you go. And what that does, it gives your hair a nice organic feel. So you get some organic shapes that you normally would not be able to get. And it just helps with the realism. But you have to have large areas of hair that to work, of course. And you just kind of shoot through it, and then you get this really nice edge work here. You can just move that around. You get sort of that chaotic quality of hair, which would be very difficult otherwise. Okay, we see a little bit of light over here. And these where you see those little micro adjustments here. And then you can just tap that white pastel till it falls right in line. Again, you have some lights in the darks here. So it's not just, you know, painting the shapes and the edges. It goes much deeper than that. And then you have to look and see where the shapes are bouncing within those shapes. The light that's bouncing, I should say. If you don't do that, you'll have something that has the appearance of what you're looking for, but it's not going to have the quality of light. So, you know, in my classes, in my mentorship program, you'll learn about the quality of light. You'll learn of the cut of light. You'll learn so much when it comes to light. And it's so important. It's one thing to know how to paint, but it's one other thing to know how to read the light. And it doesn't come right away, but with my teaching method and my combination of science and art, you're able to see things a lot quicker if you were just trying to do it the old-fashioned way of, you know, you'll see it in time. I don't believe that. I think, yes, you could see it in time, but if you know the science behind it, then you're going to see it a lot quicker because you're going to understand it. Thanks, Jesus. I appreciate that. He said he likes the blur around the pillow. Thank you, sir. And let's go ahead over here. And let's look at the neck and see the complexities of what's happening here at the neck. So you can see there is some light, even though this is a mid-tone area. Some light is actually reaching this part of the neck. And then we have some bounce light right over here. Now bounce light is coming from the same light source. Okay, let's look for other areas that have more complexity when it comes to the lights within the shadows here. Okay, right over here, you see we have something going on here. Let's zoom up. Okay, right here, I'm just going to put a little mark with a pencil. She has a little beauty mark right here. And I am going to hit that with the detail mixture because it is very light. So before you go into something like that, you want to make sure you have your aim set. There we go, right there. And then I'll just take the white pastel and I'll just clean that up just a little bit. There we go. And then there's another one right over here next to her nose. Go. And let's see what else we have. Okay, so we can do a little bit of the detail near her lower eyelid here. And it's a good time to adjust this crease here in the upper eyelid. Got a little bit of little eyelashes here. Nothing too crazy. And let's see what we can do on the other eye here. Any detail that I missed at this point? So one of the reasons why it's important to watch my live streams from beginning to end, because something like this would be a good episode for you to watch, because you'll learn how to complete a painting, you know, how to take it to that next level. And let's zoom down. I don't think there's anything really much more to do there. Okay. And let's see, what else can we do? Okay, so right here we definitely can soften this edge here a little bit. Just keep that 1 second rule going. Little tiny bit of light kind of finding its way over here. And you want to make sure that these little bits of light that are getting in there, although very weak, are still getting in there. And it's our job to try and make sense of it and make sure that we notice it and put it in our paintings. We'll come back with the dark mixture here. Hey, Mr. Todd, how's it going? Good to see you. How's life in San Diego, sir? And we can go ahead and do some hard edges here in the hair just to keep things interesting. You know, you have your hard and your soft edges. It's very important to have both. And so you have those variety of hard and soft edges, which is really going to pay dividends for you with the effect of the painting. Not everywhere, just here and there. right here. We can create some hard edges here. I think that will work here. I think it needs some hard edges to separate her from the background. I think that's important. And you can see it's working out. So I'm just going to continue this line of thinking right here. Just separate her from the background there. I think that was something that was missing. All right, Mr. Steve, thank you so much. I hope you have a great night, sir. And thank you for hanging out. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Steve. Thanks for hanging out with me. So you can see as we're in the home stretch, we're starting to do some kind of finishing touches that brings this home. So a good reason to watch these live streams and wait till the final is that you will start to see how to bring a painting together. Hey Omas, no, not yet. It actually, so the thing about this painting, it will sell for $150, but if someone wants to purchase it during the live stream, it's only $100 plus shipping and handling. So it's a great opportunity to be a collector, and you know, it's a great way to learn because they'll be on the website. I mean, they'll be on the YouTube channel. So you could see it as it was being done and learn a lot about this technique. So if anyone's interested, let me know, and that will be great. Now, if you're watching this and it hasn't sold, but you're watching this on the replay, you know, you can contact me, and I'll be wonderful. I'll be very happy to ship this painting out to you. Now, this painting is 10 weeks, so that's 2.5 months of, you know, comes out to 20 hours of work on this painting, so which is very cool. I love this painting for the emotion, and I think that's the next step of painting, you know, is making good paintings. And it's okay to do stoic paintings, but getting it to that next level, to get emotion, I think that's the next step in the progression, you know. So let's see. So we are in the last 10 minutes of this painting. Thank you so much for sticking around. As you can see, we're just bringing this beautiful young lady's portrait together. Put in some accents here under there like so. And So Mr. Todd says he's selling his self-portrait. I wouldn't sell this painting to my mother for $65, my friend. $65, that's like the ink, you know? It's interesting how, we artists have to sell, uh, we lower our prices to sell because we have to eat, right? So it's not really how much the painting's worth. It's more like how is the painting going to move, right? But in that respect, Jesus, we always have to make sure that we do not do not get to the point where it's just, you're lowering the value so much. We have to be careful of that. Yes, so true. Overworked and underpaid, right, Jesus? Oh, it looks like I'm running out of. Wow, that's good. That's a good sign, running out of ink. So that means I've been painting a lot today. So, so today I probably did 2, 3, 4. I did about 6 hours of airbrushing today, plus about another 2 hours on digital. Uh, oh yeah, so $100 is definitely the a good price that I'll be happy to sell this painting to whoever loves it. And the great thing about these paintings is that they're like little time capsules, and it is on the live stream. So in some weird way, they're kind of like a famous piece. And I think in the future, as the career goes further and further, I think they'll be worth more. And so that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that those who purchase my work and all of our work, that we'll continue to work hard and will be an investment. Oh no, your compressor does not turn on during class when you're airbrushing. It stays on. Oh no, it's this nameless says, I'll tell you how good Tim has attained me. His compressor does not turn on during class. Oh, that's funny. Uh, yeah, yeah, it's so important, right, Jose, to make sure that oh, this is good. So look at that. So we're at the 11:25 mark. I already used all the ink in my two airbrushes. So that means we did a lot today. Well, put this back on. There we go. Okay. Just soften this up right here. Oh, thanks. I appreciate that, Nameless. Thank you. And thank you, Jesus. Glad to have you as a student, Jesus. That's for sure. And it's my honor. So, I did go ahead and give you guys the full 2 hours. And I think it was good for the painting, even though I could have stopped a little while ago. But I think it's good for the painting to definitely give as much as you can to it, and to make sure that you do as much detail as possible. And then you see here, I'm just going to make sure that the hair has some nice texture into it here. So I'm going to come in and create some texture. That's going to be the finishing touch here. Yeah, just a light area is just not good enough when hair. You just got to make sure that you get all the little chaotic hairs going in different directions. That's what I'm doing right now. So we have 2 minutes left. Thank you, Jesus. I appreciate that. So I'm glad I made that change earlier. And let's get this edge here, make it a bit harder. And I think that's a good decision. Perpendicular and not parallel, okay? That's so crucial. I can't stress it enough how crucial perpendicular and not parallel is. Every rule there's an exception, but it's a rarity that we have that, you know. Take care, Todd. Good to see you. So we got 1 minute. Hey, Marshall, how's it going? Good to see you. I'm so sorry you're working so much, but hopefully there's, more money involved, and maybe get yourself something nice, Spoil yourself for working so hard. But it's good to see you. And here it is, 11:30. So you guys are going to witness this. I am not going to do another thing on this painting. If anyone was interested in purchasing this painting, it's $100. But that's only for tonight, right now. Otherwise, it's going to go on the website for $200. No, $150. And it's 22. There we go. So that's it. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. Thanks, Wendy. Thanks, Jesus. And nameless subscriber, Air Todd, Marshall. Great to see everybody, whoever's still here. Wendy. I don't know who is still here, but thanks so much for hanging out. I appreciate it. So Saturday at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Omas, if you're still here, thanks for hanging out. And I'll see you Saturday at 8 for the pastel demonstration. So we're going to be doing 2 live streams a week now. Wednesday is always going to be the airbrush. And next week we are going to do a new portrait. So stay tuned as who it might be. And yes, have a great weekend, everybody. Take care. Always a pleasure.